As dawn breaks over the dry forest, a hidden and pristine world slowly awakens. A pure white peacock emerges from the shadows, methodically foraging among the fallen leaves. Above, a snow-white peahen rests quietly, meticulously preening her pristine feathers in the light. Sensing a female nearby, he begins a deliberate march, his heavy train sweeping the earth. In a sudden burst of energy, he raises a magnificent, towering fan of pure white. A rapid shiver transforms his colorless feathers into a mesmerizing, hypnotic optical illusion. Yet, the female feigns disinterest, calmly scratching the dirt to test her suitor's endurance. Undeterred, he throws his head back, unleashing a resonant call to declare his vitality. The display succeeds. She approaches and lowers her body, signaling her readiness to mate. Dropping his heavy fan, a brief balancing act ensures his unique genes will endure. Her mating complete, the peahen retreats into the dense thicket to nest alone. Using her powerful claws, she clears the dry leaves to create a shallow scrape. Settling into the dirt, she slowly rotates, molding the nest bowl to her exact shape. Panting with exertion, she reveals the very first egg of her precious clutch. Days later, she delicately rotates the 5 eggs to ensure even warmth for her embryos. To survive, she relies on absolute stillness, mimicking a sun-bleached rock among the shadows. Enduring the midday heat, rapid throat fluttering helps her cool down while protecting the nest. As a monitor lizard approaches, she flattens herself entirely, relying on her cryptic camouflage. Under the cool moonlight, she fluffs her pristine feathers to insulate the developing life. After nearly a month of solitary vigil, she gently positions the eggs for hatching. Deep within the nest, a tiny, star-shaped crack signals the beginning of life. An exhausted chick pushes into the world, clad in pale yellow leucistic down. The mother immediately fluffs her breast feathers, creating a warm, protective canopy. Now dry and fluffy, the tiny chicks peer out at their vast new world. Just hours old, the fragile brood follows their mother across the dry leaf litter. By tapping her beak, the mother teaches her eager chicks how to forage. Finding a rare puddle, the family dips their beaks and tilts their heads back. An aerial threat passes. Instantly, the chicks press flat, blending into the leaves. In a sunlit clearing, they stretch their tiny wings to absorb the morning heat. To manage parasites, the mother kicks up dry dirt, and her clumsy chicks follow. Stiff white pin feathers pierce the yellow down, signaling a crucial biological transition. Standing on a fallen log, a young chick vigorously exercises its developing flight muscles. As daylight fades, the mother rhythmically calls her brood to the safety of the canopy. Summoning its strength, a chick makes its clumsy but vital first leap into the branches. Safe from nocturnal predators, the family huddles together, their white plumage bathed in moonlight. Independence grows as a chick successfully strikes, catching a grasshopper with remarkable precision. Now clad in crisp white feathers, the synchronized family meticulously preens their new plumage. A sharp alarm call rings out, and the white juveniles instantly freeze to avoid detection. With danger past, the mother gently preens her chick, strengthening their vital social bonds. At first light, the young birds flutter back down to earth, ready to forage. Now fully self-sufficient, the striking white juveniles forage without their mother's help. Powerful claws dismantle rotting wood to extract a nutritious grub with precise skill. For young males, the very first colorless tail covers emerge, hinting at their future. Driven by instinct, a young male practices a clumsy but essential mock display. As a tropical deluge strikes, the juveniles independently seek shelter beneath broad leaves. When the storm passes, a vigorous shake restores the warmth of their pristine feathers. Ignoring a fluttering butterfly, this growing bird learns to conserve vital energy instead. At dusk, the heavy, developing offspring struggle to follow their mother into the canopy. Practicing his territorial call, the young male's voice cracks, echoing through the trees. Striding into the golden grass, the independent juveniles embark on their solitary nomadic phase. Months pass, and his growing white train now lightly trails across the dry forest floor. Meticulous preening reveals a marvel, colorless. Embossed eye spots catch the sunlight on his white feathers. At 1 year old, he relentlessly practices his rattling display with a half-grown white fan. In this dry woodland, the young white peacock and a grazing deer share resources peacefully. Beauty exacts a heavy toll. He must physically drag his cumbersome train over rough terrain. Arching his neck, he carefully pulls the exceptionally long white feathers through his pale beak. Suspended high in the twilight canopy, his elongated white train sways gently in the breeze. Throwing his head back, he unleashes a deeply resonant, powerful call across the entire forest. 2 years of growth culminate in absolute majesty as his flawless train sweeps the grass. Bathed in a solitary shaft of sunlight, the White King stands perfectly still, nature's masterpiece. To attract a mate, he meticulously clears the dry leaves to prepare his display stage. From his pristine arena, he projects a resonant call to invite receptive females nearby. A pure white peahen slowly enters the territory, cautiously assessing her magnificent suitor. Instantly, he erects his magnificent train, supported entirely by shorter, stiff tail feathers behind it. A rapid, intense vibration creates a hypnotic, rippling illusion across the colorless, embossed eye spots. Reaching the climax, he emits a sharp hoot and tilts his massive fan forward. The display succeeds. Dropping his heavy train, he mounts the female, flapping to maintain balance. As the season ends, a massive white feather simply detaches and drifts to the earth. Resting among decaying leaves, the pristine feather sparkles with dew, a fleeting remnant of courtship. Now stripped of his heavy train, he endures the harsh tropical rain in eclipse plumage. Without his heavy train, the male navigates the dense, thorny undergrowth with newfound agility. Prompt 72. As the dry season approaches, thick keratin sheaths emerge, protecting the delicate new covers. With his train half-grown, he meticulously uses his beak to align every emerging barb. Vigorous wing flaps momentarily lift the heavy train, allowing him to test his balance. Fully regenerated, the majestic king reclaims the forest, dragging his overwhelmingly massive white train. Territorial boundaries are tested as two fully adorned males engage in a stiff parallel walk. Powerfully battling extreme aerodynamic drag, he forces his heavy body upward to a safe roost. At dawn, he broadcasts a deeply resonant, echoing call to reclaim his mating territory. Spotting a female, he erects his white fan and violently vibrates the quills again. The cautious peahen circles him, biologically assessing the symmetry and strength of his shimmering fan. Accepting his display, she crouches. He mounts, utilizing rapid wing beats for balance. The union complete, their paths diverge. She silently vanishes into the shadows to nest. Under a decaying log, her powerful claws meticulously clear the debris for a nest. Sitting perfectly still, her stark white plumage passively mimics a sun-bleached branch. With meticulous care, her pale beak gently rotates the eggs to ensure perfect warmth. When a sudden deluge strikes, she flattens her feathers, bravely protecting her unhatched young. The cycle renews. An exhausted chick pushes free, revealing its pale yellow leucistic down. Within hours, the tiny, fluffy chicks frantically waddle, following their mother's deliberate steps. By tapping the earth, she visually instructs her eager brood how to uncover food. An aerial threat appears. Instantly, the chicks press flat, blending seamlessly with the leaves. The pale yellow down is shed, revealing the crisp, pure white juvenile feathers. Strengthening their flight muscles, the young birds leap toward the safety of the canopy. Now fully independent, the white juveniles forage together as pristine tail covers begin showing. Deep in the forest, the majestic king patrols, dragging his overwhelmingly massive white train. Encountering a mate, he stops abruptly, erecting his magnificent train into a flawless fan. A violent rattling transforms the colorless ice spots into a mesmerizing, rippling optical illusion. Watching from the edge, a young male quietly observes the master, awaiting his turn. As twilight descends, he takes flight, powerfully propelling his heavy body into the canopy. Safe on a high branch, his extraordinarily long train sways like a cascading waterfall. As night envelops the forest, this glowing phantom fades, symbolizing nature's endless, beautiful cycle.